Have you ever felt the warmth of a loving connection slowly fade, leaving you standing in a space that feels unfamiliar and cold? It's a chilling sensation, isn't it? Like watching a vibrant flame dwindle into mere embers, leaving behind only smoke and the faint memory of the light it once cast. This isn't about assigning blame or dissecting what went wrong. It's about acknowledging the reality that relationships, like living things, can experience seasons of dormancy, moments when the fire seems to dim, and the path forward becomes clouded with uncertainty. Perhaps you find yourselves drifting apart, conversations becoming shallower, the shared laughter less frequent. Maybe the little annoyances that once seemed insignificant now loom large, creating friction and distance. Or perhaps, life's relentless demands, work, family obligations, personal struggles, have gradually eroded the time and energy you once dedicated to nurturing your bond. Whatever the reason, the undeniable truth is that the spark, the essential ingredient that fueled your connection, seems to have lost its intensity. This isn't a condemnation of your relationship or a suggestion that all hope is lost. Far from it. It's an invitation to pause, to reflect, and to consider the possibility of rekindling that flame. It's about recognizing that love, like any worthwhile endeavor, requires intentional effort, ongoing cultivation, and a willingness to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of life. It's about understanding that the absence of fireworks doesn't necessarily signify the end, but rather an opportunity to delve deeper, to rediscover the underlying foundations of your connection, and to build something even stronger and more resilient. We often hear about the passionate beginnings of relationships, the whirlwind romances, and the fairy tale endings. But what about the messy middle? What about the times when love feels less like a grand adventure and more like a daily grind? These are the moments that truly test the strength of a bond, the moments that demand vulnerability, honesty, and an unwavering commitment to growth. This journey isn't about seeking a quick fix or a magic formula. It's about embracing the challenges, learning from the setbacks, and emerging with a deeper understanding of yourselves, your partner, and the intricate dance of love. Think of it as tending a garden. Initially, the excitement of planting new seeds and watching them sprout is exhilarating. But as time goes on, the garden requires constant care, weeding, watering, pruning, to thrive. Similarly, a relationship needs ongoing attention, nurturing, and a willingness to address the challenges that inevitably arise. This isn't always easy. There will be moments of frustration, doubt, and perhaps even despair. But it's during these times that the true potential for growth and renewal emerges. So, if you're feeling the chill of a fading flame, know that you're not alone. Many couples experience similar challenges throughout their journey together. The key is to acknowledge the problem, to approach it with compassion and understanding, and to be willing to invest the time and effort required to reignite the spark. This is an invitation to embark on a journey of rediscovery, a chance to rebuild your connection on a foundation of honesty, vulnerability, and a renewed commitment to love. Now, let's delve into the psychological underpinnings of why this cooling effect occurs in relationships. It's rarely a sudden event, but rather a gradual erosion fueled by a confluence of factors. One significant contributor is the familiarity breeds contempt phenomenon. Initially, the novelty of a relationship sparks excitement and intrigue. We're captivated by our partner's unique qualities, their perspectives, and their quirks. However, as time progresses, these once endearing traits can become commonplace, even irritating. The very things that initially drew us to our partner can, paradoxically, become sources of friction. This isn't necessarily a sign of diminishing love, but rather a natural consequence of increased exposure and a shift in perspective. Another crucial aspect is the impact of unmet needs and expectations. We all enter relationships with certain desires, both conscious and unconscious. These needs might encompass emotional support, intellectual stimulation, physical intimacy, or a sense of security. When these needs are consistently unmet, resentment can begin to fester, creating a wedge between partners. Furthermore, unspoken expectations can be particularly damaging. We often assume that our partner understands our needs without us explicitly stating them, leading to disappointment and frustration when those expectations are not fulfilled. It's important to remember that mind reading is not a realistic expectation in any relationship. Furthermore, the pressures of daily life can significantly impact the emotional climate within a relationship. The demands of work, family responsibilities, financial stressors, and personal challenges can drain our emotional resources, leaving us with little energy to invest in our relationship. We may become preoccupied with our own concerns, neglecting the needs of our partner and failing to provide the support and attention they require. This can create a sense of isolation and disconnection, further exacerbating the cooling effect. Adding to this complexity, communication patterns can either nurture or erode a relationship. Healthy communication involves active listening, empathy, and a willingness to express one's needs and feelings in a respectful and constructive manner. Conversely, poor communication patterns, such as defensiveness, criticism, stonewalling, and contempt, can create a toxic environment that stifles intimacy and breeds resentment. These negative communication patterns can become ingrained over time, making it increasingly difficult to resolve conflicts and maintain a sense of connection. Consider, for instance, a couple where one partner consistently dismisses the other's feelings. Over time, the dismissed partner may begin to withdraw emotionally, fearing further rejection or invalidation. This withdrawal creates a distance between them, making it even harder to communicate effectively. It's a vicious cycle that can slowly erode the foundation of their relationship. Ultimately, understanding these psychological dynamics is the first step towards addressing the cooling effect. By recognizing the potential causes of disconnection, couples can begin to identify the specific challenges they face and develop strategies for rekindling their connection. It's a process that requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to examine one's own contribution to the problem. Reflecting on this journey so far, a tapestry begins to emerge, woven with threads of shared experience, psychological insight, and the quiet yearning for reconnection. It's a complex pattern, far removed from the simplistic narratives of instant gratification or effortless love that often dominate our cultural landscape. Instead, we see a more nuanced picture, one where the vibrancy of connection is not a static state, but rather a dynamic process of tending, adapting, and rediscovering. Imagine a river, its course shaped by the contours of the land, sometimes flowing smoothly through open plains, other times navigating rocky rapids and unexpected bends. Similarly, relationships ebb and flow, encountering periods of tranquility and moments of turbulence. The key lies not in resisting the natural currents, but in learning to navigate them with grace and resilience. It's about understanding that the journey itself is as important as the destination, and that even the most challenging stretches can offer valuable lessons and opportunities for growth. The insights we've explored converge to suggest a powerful truth: that love, in its mature form, is not merely a feeling, but a conscious choice, a daily commitment to showing up, to listening deeply, and to nurturing the bond that connects two souls. It's about recognizing that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength, allowing us to create a space of authenticity and emotional safety where both partners can thrive. In light of these considerations, the path forward becomes clearer, not as a perfectly paved highway, but as a winding trail through unfamiliar territory. It requires courage to confront the uncomfortable truths, to acknowledge our own shortcomings, and to extend compassion both to ourselves and to our partners. It demands a willingness to let go of rigid expectations and embrace the possibility of creating a new narrative, one that honors the past while forging a more fulfilling future. Drawing these strands together, we see that rekindling a fading flame is not about recreating the initial spark, but about building a deeper, more resilient fire, fueled by understanding, empathy, and a shared commitment to growth. It's about recognizing that the challenges we face are not obstacles to overcome, but opportunities to deepen our connection and strengthen our bond. It's about transforming the ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities for connection, finding joy in the simple act of being present with one another, and celebrating the unique beauty of our shared journey. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider this: the capacity for love resides within each of us, a wellspring of compassion and connection that can be tapped into at any time. The question is not whether we are capable of loving, but whether we are willing to cultivate the conditions that allow love to flourish. Are we willing to embrace vulnerability, to communicate openly, and to prioritize the needs of our relationship? Are we willing to embark on this journey of rediscovery with an open heart and an unwavering commitment to growth? The answer, ultimately, lies within us. The journey we've shared hasn't been about finding a magical solution to mend what feels broken, but rather about recognizing the inherent resilience within the human heart, the capacity to rebuild, reimagine, and redefine what love means to us. It's about understanding that the cooling of affection isn't a full stop, but a comma, an invitation to pause, reassess, and rewrite the narrative of your shared life. Think of a sculptor who, faced with a flawed piece of marble, doesn't discard it, but instead sees the potential for a new form, a new expression waiting to be revealed. Similarly, a relationship facing challenges isn't necessarily destined for dissolution, but rather presents an opportunity to sculpt a new reality, one shaped by deeper understanding, greater empathy, and a renewed commitment to growth. This requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to dismantle old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve the relationship's highest good. Perhaps the most profound insight gleaned from this exploration is the realization that love isn't a destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and mutual exploration. It's about recognizing that our partners are not static beings, but evolving individuals with changing needs and desires. It's about adapting to these changes, embracing the unexpected twists and turns, and finding new ways to connect and support one another along the way. The true practice begins now, not in grand gestures or sweeping declarations, but in the quiet moments of everyday life. It's in the way we listen, the way we respond, and the way we choose to show up for one another, even when it's difficult. It's in the conscious effort to prioritize connection, to create space for intimacy, and to nurture the emotional bond that sustains the relationship. It's in the willingness to forgive, to let go of resentment, and to embrace the possibility of a brighter future together. Ultimately, the power to rekindle a fading flame lies within your hands. It's a choice, a commitment, and a journey that requires courage, vulnerability, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of love. Embrace the challenge, trust in the process, and remember that even the smallest spark can ignite a fire that burns brighter and stronger than ever before. Let this be your starting point, your invitation to rediscover the beauty, the joy, and the profound connection that brought you together in the first place.